Hey everybody, it's Femtrooper, and today I'm going to be talking about my Switch pile of shame. All the games on the Switch that I haven't beat, but are sitting on my shelf. Everybody has games that they have just sitting on their shelf, they haven't gotten around to yet. Well, that's what this video is today, and I am huge on beating your games and, how to get through your backlog. That's kind of my thing. But obviously, I'm human, and I also have games sitting on my shelf that I haven't gotten to yet, so let's talk about them because I want to get to them. First up is a visual novel. It's an otome game, which I'm sort of on the fence. Some I like, some I don't, so I'm not really sure, and that's probably why I've been putting this one off, and that is Cafe Enchante. And it looks interesting. I don't really know much about it. It's whimsical and silly, and obviously an otome game, which is full of romance, but I'm kind of into it, and I really want to check it out. But visual novels can be, I find, a little tedious, and I have to be in the mood for them. So that's why this game just hasn't come up yet, and I actually played a few recently, so I haven't just been in that mood to play a visual novel, because these are like pure visual novels. They're mostly just reading, maybe the odd choice, and you gotta really be into that. So I'm hoping to get to it at some point. It's not a rush one, but it is on my shelf, and it is a game I intend to beat. Next is a game that I actually played a lot of on the PS4, and then I don't know what happened. I kind of put it down and yada yada yada. It's been like 6 years. So I just rebought it for the Switch, and that is Digimon Story Cybersleuth, which it also comes with the sequel. So I'm pretty stoked about this because it's actually really good, but it's really long. So I just have to be in that mood, and it's kind of one of those JRPGs that it will just eventually come up on the list. Like I said, I plan my games at the start of the year. In a way, obviously there are new releases that come out that I don't foresee and I end up playing them, but I try really hard to stick to the ones that I say I'm going to play. So sometimes I'll actually say, yeah, I'm going to beat that game in 2 years from now, because I know how many games I can beat in a year. I know how many games, like, realistically I can get through. So sometimes I'll look at a game and say, like, yeah, I didn't pick it this year, so it might be a 2024 game, might be a 2025 game, but I do fully intend on getting to it. But this game was actually really cool from what I played on PS4. Cool visuals, amazing music, and just kind of an interesting battle system with all the Digimon. I love Digimon. I love both Pokemon and Digimon, but there's something about those two franchises that bring me back to my childhood. So this is definitely an interesting game. I really like the concept of being kind of this digital being as the main character. So really interesting, but again, haven't gotten to it, and obviously it is still sealed, but hopefully soon. The next game is a game that is from a franchise that you guys know I just got into big time in the last few years, and that is Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. I'm really excited about this. I got it for Christmas, I think 2 years ago. It was either 2 years. Yeah, I think so. Whatever. I'm really excited about it because I really like Dragon Ball Z. I love the Dragon Ball universe. It's amazing. And this game looks really cool, and I know you can jump in at the second one. It looks really interesting. It's a JRPG with other elements going on, but because I liked Kakarot so much, I feel like this is a game that I probably would like a lot. I just have to just decide it's one of the games I'm going to play and pick it up. But it is a game that looks really cool, and I feel like I've been told as a Dragon Ball fan that it's pretty awesome. The next game is a game that is, I'm sad to say that I haven't beaten. I beat the second one. It's a collection here. So I have actually beat Final Fantasy X-2. I beat that a couple years ago. Absolutely loved it. And I haven't actually beat Final Fantasy X. I've made it like 85 to 90% through the game. Got kind of hard, and I just gave up, and ever since I shelved it. I played the remastered version, this version on PS3. That's the one I was playing, and I know they've basically released it on every console possible at this point. So I really want to play it. I don't consider any game like beat, or I don't feel accomplished until I see those end credits roll. So I don't care that I made it so close. Like, to me, it doesn't count. I'll never list it on a list I do, because I've never actually beat the game. So It's amazing. I love Final Fantasy X. I would consider it one of my favorite Final Fantasies, but like I said, because I haven't seen those end credits, I just can't list it in any video, so I really got to make that commitment to just go for it and just actually beat Final Fantasy X. The next one is a game that I got for a really cheap price. It was actually, I think I got it for $15, and that's Final Fantasy XII, the Zodiac Age, so the Switch remaster, and I know it also on PS4 as well, but I've never wanted to play this one because it looks like just not my thing. It's like kind of has that MMO style, and I've always been freaked out it would be kind of too hard, and I never ever really checked it out. I rented it once on PS2 years ago, and that's kind of it. And I remember buying it on PS2 and obviously never played it, so I figured for $14.99, it was used at my favorite store here in Calgary, and I feel like I gotta at least give it a shot. Maybe it won't be my thing. I don't know, but you never know. And like, I've heard mixed things. You know, one of my friends, it's his favorite game. For other people, they were like, that was so drab and boring. So I'm like, where do I fit in the mix? Maybe I don't know. And so again, it's a game I really got to give it a solid try. But yeah, Final Fantasy XII. It's Final Fantasy. It's such a hit and miss series, especially with me because, you know, I have some I love, I have some I absolutely hate. So we'll see where this one fits in when I eventually get around to it. The next is a game that is a platformer that I actually really want to try. I've been told it's just like, has the same vibe as Donkey Kong Country, which is awesome for me because I love those games, and that is Kaze and the Wild Masks. It just looks really interesting and colorful and fun and just pure platforming gold. So I've been told it's great, gotta check it out. It probably isn't that long, platformers aren't very long, so I try and sometimes play platformers in between JRPGs, so eventually I'll get around to it, but it is one that I really, really, like, it's a higher priority on my list because it is so Donkey Kong-like, so that has me very interested. The next is a game that I'm actually supposed to play this year. It was part of my list that I made like January 1st of all the games that I was going to play this year. So we'll see. It's already, you know, mid-August here. I don't know. But it's Ni no Kuni 2, Revenant Kingdom on Switch. I wanted the Switch version because I just play games on Switch so much easier and faster. And this is a weird one because Ni no Kuni, one of my favorite games of all time. It's amazing. And then I've been told this is not as good and it's a little bit of a letdown and there's some different elements going on, but a part of me is like, it can't be that bad. Like, it has to still be decent. So I still want to give it a shot. I still want to like give it a solid try and see what I think of it, because I just feel like if it has the Ni no Kuni name, it can't possibly be awful. So I'm going to give it a shot, hopefully soon, but I have a few others that are more priority. Some that I haven't mentioned you'll see in a sec. But Ni no Kuni 2, definitely a game I really want to try because, God, Ni no Kuni was gorgeous. It was amazing. It was emotional. So I'm really hoping for good things, even if not as good, but still, even if it's not a great game, it's still like a really good game. Next up, we have a game that I actually bought because of Persona 5, and that's Persona 5 Strikers. I bought this because I was just riding on the high of Persona 5 Royal. I was like obsessed with the game. I had so much fun. I wanted anything Persona 5. I was just so excited. So I immediately rushed out and went and bought this. And then obviously it's been a couple years and I haven't played it yet. And I think the problem is Persona 5 Royal is over 100 hours. Like, that is a serious commitment. It's huge. So the last thing I wanted to do after playing that game was realistically play more Persona 5. Like, I needed a break. And so I basically bought this because I was excited, but I also needed a break, and now here we are 2 years later, and I still haven't played it. So that's the reasoning. I feel like I've had a long enough break, and Persona 5 Tactica is coming out soon, which I'm very intrigued about. It's not my number one priority, but I'm excited because I like strategy RPG games, and I like Persona 5, so I feel like I'll probably like it. But Persona 5 Strikers, I've heard good things, and it's a fun continuation if you want to spend more time with those characters. So I definitely want to check it out, and I feel like I am due now. I'm due now. I've had a long enough Persona 5 break. Next, we have Road 96, which is a action-adventure, visual novel, point-and-click adventure kind of game. and I've been told by several people that it's really, really good, and it looks really interesting. It's not too long. It just didn't make my cut for this year, but I am actually really excited to play this because it looks interesting, like teenagers in sort of like a dystopian kind of future, but, you know, the government's all weird, and I've been told there are parallels to what's going on right now in the world, and I don't know. I don't really know much except that, and that's enough to make me interested to want to check it out. Next, we have a game that is embarrassing that is on this list, and no, I didn't actually beat it, but I got close. I just dropped it because it just didn't connect with it, and that's Super Mario Odyssey. And trust me, when this game came out, oh my god, I was so excited. It was like the biggest week ever. I was like listening to Odyssey constantly, like the song, I couldn't stop listening to it. I was like in this Mario high. I was so excited, and then when I played it, I was sort of let down, and I think a part of it was you just don't sometimes get that same feeling you had when you were a kid playing these games, and that's okay, but I think maybe I just built it up too much, so I want to go back to it. It's obviously a good game, but I don't think it would ever still be like a favorite, but I do think I should go back, actually beat it, complete it, check it off the list, and have a true opinion, because I don't know, I just got to the end and then just dropped it, and I'm not sure what happened, so let's change that. Next, we have a collection, and I'm not in any rush to, you know, go and beat this immediately, but I'd like to at least beat one of them, and that's the Super Mario 3D AllStars collection. And I've actually never played Sunshine, so I'd like to give it a shot. I've never beat either of the others, but I've played them. I've played 64, never beat it though, and I never beat Super Mario Galaxy. These were all games that I played years ago, and you know, you just play them, you play something else. Back when I was playing like a million games at once and I wasn't committing and all this stuff. So I would like to give Galaxy a try. I think it would be really, you know, actually like give it a try to actually beat it and actually see it to the end, because I remember thinking it was great, and I would like to beat Super Mario 64. So I'm going to try and make one of those a priority, maybe next year, and just kind of give it a shot. Next, we have a game that I actually intend on playing probably within the next month or two. So that is Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I love this series. It's great. I love the first one. I love the second one as much as it has its flaws. I still love it, and everybody was playing 3 last year. Lots of people playing it this year still, and I'm like, I gotta just play it. I don't want to wait. I don't want to wait like 3 years. I want to just play it now. So I wanted to originally beat the second one before I played this, and so I did that last year, and I beat Torna as well. So I feel like I'm ready. I'm ready to play 3. I'm currently playing a big JRPG right now in like my handheld game. So after that, I want to play something short, and then I'm gonna get to this. So I'm hoping by like maybe October or September, maybe. I'm not sure, but really excited to play this. So many people, it's their favorite now. Like, this is the best one for them. And I'm like, okay, well then I have to check it out. Here's one where there are 6 games on the cart, and that is the Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster Collection. I am so excited to play the first 3 because they're just games I haven't played, and also 5. I've played 4 and 6, so those aren't ones I care to play, as I've already played them. They're great, whatever. But I actually really want to play 1 the most, because it's the original, and I've played Dragon Quest 1, so I want to play Final Fantasy 1. I want to experience that original, you know, old school grind, even though I know there's a lot of upgrades and all that stuff. So I'm super excited because that's very appealing to me. But I'm just so excited to check out the Pixel Remaster. This was something to me I felt like I had to own. So really excited to get into these. I know there's 4 games out of the 6 here that I haven't played. I'm not in any rush to, like, you know, get through all of them, but at least Final Fantasy 1 for now. And to be honest, I think that's the next handheld game I'm going to play. I'm currently playing Dragon Quest 8 on the 3DS. Absolutely loving it. It's fantastic. And then I think I want something short and sweet afterwards, and Final Fantasy 1 sounds like the perfect recipe for gaming that I want right now. Here's one that I really want to check out, Grandia II. I beat Grandia a couple years ago, thought it was great, it was a wonderful game, but Grandia II I've heard is really good as well. So it's one that I really, really, really want to check out and actually put some time into it, because it, you know, if it's anything like the first one and has the same charm and heartwarming feel as Grandia does, then I'm so there. I'm really, really excited to play it because Grandia was just a lovely surprise. So definitely excited to check out Grandia 2. Lastly, I have Yooka-Laylee and the Impossible Lair, another game that I've been told is like Donkey Kong, super fun, and just, you know, a great platformer. I have been told that the end is like ridiculous, so part of me is like, ugh, because I hate that when you commit and then they up the difficulty like a lot at the end. I can't stand it, but whatever, I still think it's worth trying because I like my platformers, and I have to say, I like my platformers frustrating because that's the whole point to me. I play a lot of games on easy, but platformers, for some reason, that's where I like getting my challenge. Like, I don't want a challenge from a JRPG because I play them for story and adventure, but a platformer to me is not about story. It's just about, like, you know, hitting a button when you need to and, like, being fully, like, you know, it's almost like in rhythm. Like, you have to jump when you should and, you know, swing when you should. Like, there's something exciting about that to me. And so I do actually like a decent challenge. It doesn't have to be ridiculous, but I do like a decent challenge with a platformer. So, hey, maybe this is exactly what I've been looking for. So that's my Switch pile of shame. And yes, I fully intend on playing and beating all of those games and making this list useless in the future because I'd like to check off all the boxes and just, you know, beat them all, but it takes a long time, obviously, and that's fine, but I do get excited knowing, like, okay, I've got these games that I get to play, and that's so exciting because my big thing, as you guys know, is beating games because I feel like when I do, I'm a part of something. And I think my biggest example, if you're like, what does that mean? And I'll just briefly say this because I really like to share this because this is exactly the feeling. I've been to Video Games Live. It's fantastic. It's a fun experience. And when you go, whenever they play a song that you like, and the audience obviously likes, everybody gets so excited. And then, they'll play a song from like a franchise or a game that I've never played. And then, you know, there's tons of people in the audience. They get so pumped. And then I'm sitting there like, this is cool, but I don't feel like I'm a part of it. I don't know it. I don't really know what's going to happen. I don't know the song. It's just a weird feeling, and that's the best way I have to describe it, and I hope that makes sense. But then they'll play a song that I do know. They'll play like Liberi Fatali or something from like Final Fantasy VIII, and you're like, yeah, this is so amazing. And then you get so into it, and you feel this like rush, and you're like, everybody else in the audience is excited to hear it because we all know what it is, and we're so excited. And then they'll play a song from a franchise I don't know, and then I'm like, awesome, but I'm just not a part of it. And that's it. That's the whole feeling. And so when I beat a game, I get so pumped because I'm a part of it now. If people bring it up, I'm like, I'm there. I beat it. I know exactly what you're talking about. And it's a fabulous feeling. So think of that if you're wondering why it's nice to beat a game. That's it. That's the feeling. So that's my video for today. I hope I inspired you. Again, get those games played. It's so much fun. This is the best. I love video games. And I will see you guys later.